Peace, 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 fam. Peace, beloveds. How y'all doing? This is Oracle Deborah with Oracle Deborah Podcast on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about maturity within the community. Maturity within the community. But before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe. I got my parade in the background today. I figured some stuff out on just a little bit. I figured some stuff out on Zoom. So, getting there, baby steps. My last video was probably my practice editing video, and it was pretty basic. We're gonna lie, it was pretty basic. Grainy pictures, all of that. I may try to clean it up later and re-upload it, but I got the gist of what I need down. All right, so again, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. I'm actually on a timer today, so we're going to try to really keep this really short. All right. So I'm going to play a clip of that someone posted of type that Tyrese posted, that someone reposted it, of a husband and wife having a full-blown argument because she received flowers and candy from her boss and brought it home. The husband blew up. He trashed them, like destroyed them basically on the floor. And it ensued a full-blown argument. I don't know why it was recorded though. I mean, that's my only question. Like, why would you record that? I don't know. But it was recorded. I don't know why. I wouldn't record my arguments. I think that's over the top for social media. But it was recorded. I'm going to add a little bit more time to this. It was recorded, and it's getting a lot of flack, and a lot of people are saying the wife was wrong because you never accept flowers and candy from a man. And I get that, like your average Joe on the streets, someone who's a colleague, you're like, no, I can't take that home, But we don't know what kind of work she does. And that was my point in the comments, Not everybody is a CEO. As much as we would like the average person is a CEO or who is a, I don't know, like some high level executive in their workplace. They're not. Okay. We still have a lot of people doing very important, but what most would consider basic jobs, right? Now, secretaries is honestly one of the most stressful and most underappreciated jobs there are out there. And it was worse back in the day when, you had to go and get coffee and go pick up their wives. You had to go pick up flowers for, your boss's wives or pick up their laundry. Like it got really bad. Like by the time I came along and did that work, we didn't do coffee no more. We didn't come in and serve coffee, by the time I got into that arena, way back when. I'll just say that. So, but still, there's a lot of service in those positions. And because of the nature of the position, that particular position, I don't know about other positions, right? There's a lot of other jobs and positions out here. So I can't speak for those. I can only speak for the one that I know about. And I know for a fact that those jobs were really thankless, particularly these legal secretary jobs are high pressure jobs. There's downtime for sure, but then there's a lot of pressure because, one little mistake can cost, $1 million case, whatever, right? Like you don't, there's a lot of, there's very little room for errors in law firms. People make errors all the time, don't get me wrong. And probably at this point, actually, when I left the field, attorneys were typing their own stuff. They were getting to the point where like, we don't need the secretary, we could do it ourselves, we could type it. Um, but still, there are a lot of the schoolers still out there, and they still use the microphone or the tape recorder to dictate, letters and briefs and all kinds of stuff. So, no, I can't speak about the field. Probably in the past, I would say, how long have I been out the field? 10, 15, 18 years. So it's been almost 20 years since I've been out the field. But I do know that that was a situation where people, secretaries, right? They had a designated administrative day. They used to call it Secretary's Day, then they started calling it Administrative Day, where they would be taking out the lunch. They would be given flowers. During Valentine's Day, they might get more flowers. They might get candy, and we got candy and flowers. We got all those things. It was their way of saying, hey, we know we put a lot of pressure on you guys. Pressure rolls downhill, basically. We do appreciate what you're doing. We like you as a secretary. We wouldn't want to lose you. You do great work. And this is our way of saying thank you. Okay. This is the most basic job there is. Maybe, I don't know, secretaries don't even hold the positions they hold that they used to before. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I don't know what kind of work this woman does. So, what the circumstances were, if it was an attorney, if she was an attorney and another, like her boss gives her flowers, that is inappropriate. Yes. Executives, like she's a high level executive, why would another executive give her flowers and candy? Yes, that is a little odd. I'm not getting the um I didn't get the impression that this was this kind of high level job. Okay. Um, but again, I don't know. I could be wrong. But I'm just giving you some context based on my experience. So with that being said, um, I think maturity is an issue in our community, basically. And it's not just based on what we see here. I just see people's comments are pretty much immature as well. Because people don't have context to that. They just see a blowout argument. There's no context to it. There's not enough context to it. I'll put it that way. And the other immature thing I saw in this and about the comments is it's her fault. It's all her fault because she had no business accepting it. And all you have to do is get one woman, which one woman went in the comments and said, never accept flowers and candy from another man. Okay, right. I wouldn't accept flowers and candies from another man, but we're putting some things in context. What kind of job does she have? And then she goes on to say, I'm the one holding it down. So she's like, I'm okay doing that. I'm okay doing my part in this space and time where we are, where I have to hold it down. But don't take that little thing from me, where I'm being appreciated. I'm being valued. Now, some might say, well, that's his job. Well, what he's not clearly he's not working. So he's not even in a position to buy her flowers and candy. And she may not even be expecting that from him. So to me, it was very immature of him to destroy the flowers and candy. And you'll see what I mean when I show this video clip of the way he destroyed it. Like, some people just want to argue. And yes, you can say, well, she knew what kind of relationship she was getting into. Well, on the flip side of that, he knew what kind of relationship he was getting into. Why is there always this either or? And it's usually the women's the problem. See, here's the thing that in the community that I don't like, that's imbalanced. I'm constantly hearing, no woman can lead me. Women are not to be leading men. You can't lead men. So, okay, you say that, but you also can't hold it down. So then she gets castrated for that, for holding it down. What do you want women to do? This is the immaturity I see. You're in a relationship, something happens, life happens. Everybody knows that. She's holding it down. She's feeling the pressure, right? Of taking on all the responsibilities, right? But then you don't give leverage or room for the fact that she's holding it down. You want leadership, but how many leaders would you follow that sit there and destroy things, that violently destroy some candy and flowers? It's just candy and flowers. Now she gets so upset at this, she's like, get the hell out. Just get out. I'm ready to, break this thing off over this thing that you did. That tells me there are deeper problems, deeper arguments, deeper things going on in this relationship for her to get to that point. He went too far. And she's had enough. Like, did R. Kelly have a song about that? So I'm not giving her a full pass for, I'm not giving her a full pass for accepting the flowers and gifts and the candy, because again, I don't know. I don't know what kind of job she had. Maybe it was highly inappropriate, and maybe he felt like, okay, this is it. I don't know that. But how mature is destroying flowers and candy? Like, how long has this been going on? That he got to a point that he's literally trashing the flowers and candy on the floor. I mean, that just seems highly immature to me. But this whole relationship can be just highly immature. The thing is, why was it recorded? Why was it uploaded? That screams immaturity to me. Okay, on both parts. I'm saying there's two people in a situation, so two people are accountable. There is cause and there is effect. So why are we always in this extreme polar black and white thing? It's her fault. It's always his fault. No, there's two people in it, so they're both accountable. Both people. Okay, so I've given my commentary most of it. So let me just try and get to this, okay? And then you can tell me, where is my share button? I don't even see where, oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Make sure the sound is in there. So I'm just going to play this, and then Tyrese, this guy is going to celeb source. This is who's doing this. So, or who's sharing Tyrese's clip. So here we go.
A lot of y'all may want to skip this next story because you're going to get into an argument with your partner. You're like, nah, my relationship is solid. Hey, look, remember I told you, okay? You don't listen. That's always been your problem. That's what everybody's always complained about. You don't listen. Skip the story, bruh. This one is for the mature, okay? Ma'am, you too, all right? You are not as mature as you think you are. You're like, don't try me. Okay, fine. Remember I told you. Listen, Tyrese has recently posted a clip, right? Of a wife receiving a Valentine's Day gift from her boss. Let me show you how this joint played out. Take a look.
Man got me messed up. I know you just did not throw my flowers, my gift that I received from from my boss. I know you did not do that, Cedric. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I received these gifts from my boss. It is Valentine's Day. Hey, let me tell you, I've been at my job for 15 years. I deserve a gift. There's nothing wrong with me getting a gift from my boss. And what is wrong with it? You should appreciate it. I'm the one that's holding it down in this house. If you don't like it, well, where you gonna sleep tonight? I wonder where you gonna sleep tonight. Where are you gonna sleep tonight? Because you're not gonna sleep here, because you're not gonna be throwing my gift that I received from my boss. No, sir. No, I don't think so. No. No, you need to leave. You need to leave. Now, you need to leave. Now, you got 5 seconds to leave. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Listen.
All right, so here's the comments. Here are the comments.
She said a few things that really rubbed me the wrong way. She said, first of all, well, let me go to the comments first, okay? One person said this. One person said, a gift from my boss would never be worth my marriage. The real issue here isn't the gift, it's the way the situation was handled. If she felt the need to remind her husband that she's holding the house down as a justification for dismissing his feelings and even putting him out, that says a lot about their relationship dynamic. Marriage is about partnership, not power struggles.
She's blamed.
If a disagreement over a workplace gift can escalate to that level, there are likely deeper issues at play. Respect and communication should always come before proving a point. That was from, what is it? The Natalie Lifestyle, and that was an excellent comment. Somebody else said, happily married wife for 27 years here, I have 3 points. It's never acceptable to receive gifts from another man. It's never acceptable to receive gifts from another man. One, that's
there
one.
Are exceptions.
2, their household is out of order. The wife should work if she chooses to, not to hold it down. Solid point. 3, if, he could find work in the whole 9 yards, but solid point. 3, because, some women, they take, like, high-paying jobs, and they thought they overqualified. You know what I'm saying? 3, they speak to one another with absolutely zero respect, which is unacceptable. Well, I mean, they're in the middle of an argument, sis.
Exactly.
So we understand why it's coming out the way it's coming out, but it shouldn't be coming out that way. I'm not saying it's good or not.
I mean, with this economy, the way the economy has been over the past quite a few decades, actually, everybody has to work. And it's one job each. People are having to work 2 and 3 jobs apiece to hold down one house. So are they living above their means? Maybe, but housing costs more. So that's a problem. So, again, I don't know, like, I just don't, if a man says, I want to be with you and I will hold it down, then those are situations those are conversations you have in effect, right? Then should something happen, God forbid, and then there's a loss of income and then she's back at work, or she's always worked and now she's having to do things, she's going to feel more pressure. I'm not really sure why people don't get that part. All right. You don't get that part. And then, let's say you're out of work. Maybe he does feel that way. I get it. I get that. Right? Because again, we don't know everything about this relationship. I get that. The thing is, how are you communicating? Trashing stuff on the floor like that. I mean, that was an extreme. And then her response was extreme too. Like, where are you going to stay? Like, where are you going to stay now? That tells me right there, she's been holding it down probably for a long time. He's not been able to, or has not been motivated enough to either keep a job, or he's always transitioning jobs, or, and he's not appreciating the fact that she's just holding it down. Okay. But that's what that tells me, is that she's probably been holding this down a long time, and she doesn't respect him. She's basically like, this is my place. And I've been on this job for 15 years. This is what's holding us up. This is what's keeping a roof over our head. This is what's putting food on the table. And this is how you respond to this. This tells me she's been holding it down for a long time. She's been doing it a lot. And he's probably taken advantage of that, honestly, or making excuses as to why he's not, or, he's not. Let's say he genuinely wants to be able to do it and things are not falling in place for him. She didn't hold that against him, but in a way she is holding it against him because she's like, okay, it's time for you to go. No marriage, no, is worth, dissolving over some freaking flowers. And I'm gonna tell you that is extreme. Because you'll look back on that and be like, what was I thinking? You know what I mean? What was I thinking? But the fact that it went there in this particular argument tells me that she needs relief. And he's going to have to find ways to step up because financial pressures are no joke in relationships. They are no joke. So anyway, all right, let me continue before they move on to the next story.
I'm just saying we understand. When I say I understand, that's not me giving a justification for what I'm looking at or saying whether it's right or wrong. I'm not in the judging phase. I'm in the understanding phase. Okay. And another person said, man, I just want to applaud a lot of women in these comments. I must admit, I didn't think it would be so many of you admitting the wife's behavior was wrong. Yeah, man. Women don't got no problem calling out another woman. That's
No, women don't, because women are constantly throwing other women under the bus. It's on the regular, right? But I don't agree with her response, like her extreme response to that. Like, okay, where are you going to sleep? That's extreme. Like, that is like over the top. But why is it over the top? You understand what I'm saying? That, to me, it tells me she's been holding it down for a very long time. She's basically wearing the pants in the house. And he's trying to say, yo, I'm still here. I'm still important. I still have a voice. I'm still a man, yada, 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 even though I'm not contributing right now. Because you saw when she was like, where are you going to sleep? He kind of calmed down a bit. That's when you've lost touch with the situation, with the practical side of the situation. And then he got reminded, oh, okay, well, you can exit stage left. And then he's like, oh, well, shit, like whatever. Because he was all up in it till she said that. So honestly, that tells me that dude is taking advantage of the situation. That's what that tells me. Because he should have really clapped back harder, like, what the hell? Like, you trying to kick me out over this? You know what I mean? Like, all he said was, oh man, I ain't paying no attention to you. His whole face changed. His face changed. And you could see it was like a reality check for him. I don't know if I can, I don't want to belabor this because I don't know the point where he goes back up the stairs. All right, let's just get there.
Would never be worth my marriage. The real issue here isn't the gift. It's the way the situation was handled. If she felt
let me go back.
Played out. Take a look.
Man got me messed up. I know you just did not throw my flowers, my gift that I received from my boss. I know.
Yeah, you said, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I received these gifts from my boss. It is Valentine's Day. Hey, let me tell you, I've been at my job for 15 years. I I deserve a gift. There's nothing wrong with me getting a gift from my boss. And what is wrong with it? You should appreciate it. I'm the one that's holding it down in this house. If you don't like it, but where you gonna sleep tonight? I wonder where you gonna sleep tonight. Where are you gonna sleep tonight? Because you're not gonna sleep here, because you're not gonna be throwing my gift that I received from my boss. No, sir. No, I don't think so.
Whatever.
No.
Whatever. You need to adjust.
No, you need to leave. You need to leave.
You need to leave.
Now. You need to leave. Now. You got 5 seconds to leave. 4.
He's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, you disrespected me. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Listen. Honestly, I mean, I'm saying a lot of honestly. I have to extend this a little bit. The thing is, yeah, he clapped. He was like, you disrespected me. He's like, where you going? He's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. What happened to this is my house too? How you gonna kick me out of my own house? See, we didn't hear that part. See, it's that part. It's that part we didn't hear. So I'm gonna stop sharing. We didn't hear that. We didn't hear, this is my house too. How you gonna kick me out of my own house? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because that's the first thing that would come out of my mouth. Like, how you gonna kick me out of my own house? I pay for this thing too. So that tells me she's got more invested in that financially than he does. But again, it's okay if he feels disrespected, you know, if that's how he feels. And again, I also understand her point. She's like, I've been on this job 15 years. She's probably like, you know, yo, they are showing their value and appreciation for me. I'm telling you, I worked in those environments where it is nothing like what maybe this man is thinking is going on. But again, I don't know if that's the kind of job she has. She didn't, you know, clearly they didn't say it. But I go back to the beginning. Why was it videotaped? Why was it taped? Like, that's the lack of maturity I see from the jump on both ends. Like, why was it even taped? Was it real? Was it staged? I don't know. Because why would you tape an argument? Like, I wouldn't put my dirty laundry out there like that. That's kind of crazy. So, but if it was real and they taped it, I say that's immaturity. Again, it kind of goes back to everything, to both parties. Her end response was extreme. So yes, I actually do get that part. But is he aware of like how corporate works? I feel like he doesn't understand that this is corporate. This is what they do here. And yes, we hear about people cheating all the time with the bosses and things like that. But does he really think she was doing that? Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's no trust here. And there's immaturity. I don't know. I just see like, it's like, well, they couldn't have been, someone might say they couldn't have been destroyed if she hadn't brought them home. But it's your response to things that shows your level of maturity too, right? My mom used to say, 2 wrongs don't make a right. 2 wrongs just make 2 wrongs. So I just feel like it's always this, it's the woman's fault. Okay, she was the cause and effect. If she hadn't brought them home, he wouldn't have had that response. But you know, our character, how character shows up is in situations like this. How do we respond to situations? How do we respond to situations like this? I feel like I'm always talking away from, you know, as if I have an audience here, which not really. It's our response to stuff. And we don't always get to control what we're presented with. That's my point. Anyway, the etymology of maturity. The word maturity comes from the Latin word maturitas, maturitas, it looks like, which means ripeness, full development. And it was first recorded in English in the 1400 to 50 period. The word maturity comes from, okay, so it just means ripe. Can be used to describe state of being fully developed in many different contexts, including physical, mental, and emotional development. It can also be used to describe a time when someone has reached a certain level of development, such as adulthood. I just feel like there is a maturity problem in our community. I look at the beefs with 50 Cent and all that thing with Meech, Little Meech, and Rick Ross, and I watched the interview with Gilly and on Club Shay Shay, and talking about beefs and things like that, and I'm just watching a whole plethora, honestly, of beefs across that are being played across the internet, um, with different males and specifically in the music industry. And I just see the there's the beef with Kendrick and Dre. There is the issue. Um, um, People are starting to, I don't know. There, there's things going on with Jay-Z. There's things that's going on with Puffy. There's things going on with this person. It's all in this music industry, this male dominated industry. Charleston Wright, or I think whatever his name is, um, he came out and, did some disrespectful things to Gilead because Gilead lost his son and his son is alive. And so he's mocking the fact that his son is alive and Gilead is not. Like that level of immaturity. And I say, like, you see all this stuff for me. I see all this stuff play out. And I'm like, but you want people to follow you. And I'm getting to the point where it's like, you can get an audience, you can be an influencer, okay? You can be well versed in your craft, in your art, but it doesn't equate to maturity. There are levels of maturity, and it's maturity in all different phases of our being. And I just feel like there is a high level of immaturity in our community that really needs to be addressed, because a lot of this stuff is based on immaturity. Now, did this wife know that her husband reacts this way? She brought it home anyway. She's like, but this was for me and blah, 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 blah. Or was she like completely shocked? Like, I didn't see that coming from you. Like, where is this coming from? Like, that's possible. So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like every time I turn around and hear about some beef, something happening, it all seems to equate to lack of maturity. And then I also hear women wanting certain things from men, and they haven't really sat down and done the math about what they want from them, which men point out all the time. Like, are you delusional? Where are you going to find a man at this height and this and that and making this much money, blah, 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 blah. And he's going to want you, right? To me, that's saying you're not mature because you're not being realistic about this. But then I see the beefs taking place amongst men. And I'm saying, is this your level of maturity? Like, so there's just a lot of immaturity. Honestly, it's just run rampant. And now where it's come from, why it's gotten to this point, maybe the fact that it's all coming out is what it is what is necessary, so that we can address it. But I don't know. I just feel like that's where it is. And yes, some women have remained single because they're like, I have a household to run. Okay. Now, you may criticize the woman for saying she got a household to run, but at least she's running the household. Like, we don't give credence and respect to where credence and respect is due. At least she's doing something. She's not abandoning her children. She's not leaving them out on the street. Like, can we at least acknowledge that? And women is, and when you are in a situation where you have to hold it down, whether you're by yourself or you're with your man, yo, like these jobs are not easy to get up to 5 days a week, 9 to 5, 9 to 8. Sometimes people working 30, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. These are not easy jobs. Like that grind gets to you over time. Traveling to and from the job, dealing with the things on the job, dealing with the superiors on the job, the bosses, the supervisor, like all that stuff gets to you. It's not, it's not easy. It's easier when you're younger. But even the young people don't have a tolerance today for bullshit on the job. And I hear leaders talk about this all the time. These young people don't understand. Like, do they know how lucky they have to get this and get that and blah 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 and blah blah blah? And they just feel entitled. I hear this all the time. So I don't know. All I'm saying is this: develop. Where are you in your development? You know, are you ripe to be in a relationship? Most of us are. It's not that hard. Okay. But we do need to be more curious about why our significant other made this decision or that decision. Okay. We need to listen more. We need to contain our raw emotions a little more. We do. I mean, I don't know why he would throw them on the ground like that. I mean, that doesn't sit right with me. To express how you feel, that's one thing. But to exasperate the situation is another. And then she claps back with the most extreme of their responses. Like, where are you going to stay? Get the hell out. So, yeah, are flowers and candy worth your relationship, whatever that looks like? I would say in most cases, no, it is not. Unless there is domestic violence, that is my cutoff. I'm going to tell you that right now. If there is domestic violence going on there, it's a wrap. I don't care what nobody says. I'll take all the hits in the world, but it's a wrap. You can blame me from A to Z, from East to Blip. I don't care. You know, two adults get into a relationship. That's the only thing. That's my cutoff. That's the number one. There's no hitting. And yes, you do need to contribute. And if you're a man, you say, I don't want my wife to contribute. I do this, then fine, do that. Y'all make those arrangements. Y'all sit down and talk about things. But if something happens, and he said, you can work if you want to. I'm okay with that, blah, blah, blah. It's up to you because, again, you're saying you want to be a leader. See, men are saying they want to be leaders, but I see the way they lead, and it's ugly. It's toxic. It's messy. Men are messy. Nobody talks about that. I took my son, and they were like 12, 13. I took them on vacation. I took he and his friends on vacation with me. That was the messiest thing ever. I did not expect that from a bunch of boys. And grown men gossip just as much as women. They're just as messy as women. Maybe that's why they do so well with the podcast, because they're messy. And men don't want to own up to that. They do, and then they don't. You throw the woman into the equation, it's like it's her fault. Just totally forgetting that how messy men can be. Yes, you know I'm right. You know how y'all talk about each other, how petty y'all can be, how slimy y'all can be. Y'all say this to one another about other men. Stop playing. It's just that when you throw a woman in the equation, well, now she's the problem. And I'm not saying, I'm not taking this woman's side. As you see, I'm saying her response was extreme. But I did hear the pain in her voice, like I've been on this job 15 years and this is for me, for my hard work, and you just trashing it. I felt that. I felt her hurt, her pain in it. Like, yo, dude, why would you do that? Why would you exasperate the situation? And again, all I'm hearing is people saying, well, why would you accept flowers from a man? Well, when you're in corporate, you get flowers a lot, especially when you've impacted those numbers. Flowers is nothing because they're making millions, if not billions. Flowers is nothing for them because they know what their bonus is going to look like at the end of the year or what it looked like last year. So flowers is nothing for them. They just need you to keep coming in and grinding away because you're making their life so much easier. And it's you that's causing them to go on these lavish vacations with your wife or with your husband or whatever. I just think we need to get balanced. And we really need to check our maturity. We need to really dig into maturity. Are we developed enough to be in these relationships to really handle things like this? Because honestly, to me, it was flowers and candy. Unless you're suspecting your spouse of cheating, it was just flowers and candy. I don't know. I really don't know. So, you know how many times I went to work and, I was like, listen, I want to lift the frequency in this office. And I brought candies and put it out on my boss's desk. I put little Valentine things on their desk along with the other coworkers around me. I bought them Christmas presents. I didn't see their wives having a fit. They were like, yo, I like that tie she bought you. Or my wife was talking about this book you bought me. Because, everybody knows I love to, I'm a big barbecuer. And you bought this book from this guy whom we love, and we went right to work and used it. I didn't see him and his wife get into an argument because she could have easily said, how does she know that you like that kind of thing, that you like this guy? And blah, blah. She could have easily asked that question. I never got those. I never got those replies from them. But you know what? They were grateful that I bought them a Christmas gift. And I didn't have to. Why? Because they're the boss. I didn't have to do anything. You feel me? So I don't know. That's just my take on it. Corporate does corporate. This is how corporate world works. And I just get the impression that this guy is not used to corporate, honestly. So maybe in the streets you don't do that, but in corporate, it's corporate. And yeah, maybe her boss does like her a little bit, or maybe her boss, but do you trust her to be like, I know she wouldn't do something like that? There's a lot that goes into this. All right, beloveds, I extended this more than I wanted to. This is Oracle Deborah with the Oracle Deborah podcast on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, have a great day. Love on yourself and remember to smile, that beautiful smile of yours, and may it shine as bright as the star that you are. All right, peace, peace.
it.